Hello, my name is Frances Fox. I am a trained remote viewer. All my psychic skills have been evolved. I refer to myself as a galactic shaman. I know about shamanism, planet Earth. Jesus Christ was a shaman. Shamanism and shamans take care of the balance of the elements plus spirits. Jesus Christ first removed spirits and then gave a healing. I'm not sure what he did about the elements, but I do know that at that time, people basically lived surrounded by the elements. They didn't live in air-conditioned, closed-in spaces. So I don't think the balance of the elements was that important, even though he did start his ministry with the element of water. He went for baptism. I'm not Christian, I'm not Catholic. Kind of Buddhist. So we're here today, and I think my galactic shamanism has to kick in order for me to be able to let you know what it is that's going on in the other dimensions. I'm going to sketch you first before you have been here too long and show you, actually, you guys don't look quite as bad today. Your mind streams are droopy, but your eyes are open. This is good. Here's how you look today as a collective. Usually these mind strings, which channel the nectar of your mind, reach the ground. They don't reach the ground, and some of them are kind of going up. And then you have your eyes are blue, which means your third eye is open. My dog has just stolen the cap of my pen, and if I don't put it back on, it's going to run out of ink. Hold on. Nope. Excuse me. Okay. So I want to talk about what happened on the 22nd. On the 22nd of April, 2024, the gates of hell opened on Earth. But it didn't open from the underworld, even though that has been happening for months, if not a couple of years, but I would say months at least. The gates of hell opened from some type of a tear in the planet, the aura, outside aura of the planet, and millions of spirits came in. Those spirits, I see them as a huge eye. That eye is called the eye of consciousness, and all of you have one of those eyes. These look really ominous, and they are there poised to enter your assemblage of bodies when you disassociate. Remember that in the Lord's Prayer, the line that says, "Deliver us from evil," doesn't say that in the original Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. It says, "Help us to be in the present," which means not disassociated, which means your physical body is like this with your spirit. Practically no one lives like that today. Those eyes of consciousness of those beings are, I believe, what we were warned about in end times, the Bible, the Mayans, the dolphins. And ultimately, the people that get invaded will end up being zombies. The dolphins have said to me that the reason the zombies go into the cannibalism has to do with putting humans into a state of shock. And then they become even more disassociated and more evil can pour in. This is important that you listen to this, connect the dots, and understand that this is a very different world that we're living in, but that we were forewarned 5,000 years ago about what's going on today. The battle that's going on, whether people believe or they don't believe in spirits, it's very late for that, because almost any religion that you are part of or were raised in or familiar with all deal with spirits. So you cannot continue to resist, because you will be handicapped in keeping yourself and your family well. So what are we going to do today that's going to be interesting and different? I decided not to wait to get you guys primed for doing healings and remote viewing, but instead of remote viewing a location or an object, I want you to remote view something that has to do with, oh, here we go back again to Jesus Christ. How interesting. On the cross, Jesus Christ had a lance that pierced his liver, the area of his liver. I thought, that's a sign. It turns out that the movie Matrix. Why are people instinctively so hung up on the movie Matrix? Because Matrix is telling us things in the only way that we could take it in. So I'm going to give you what it is that Matrix is referring to. Our mind is composed of strings that channel a nectar called amrit. But other beings have mind strings also that channel them. Planets have mind streams. And it turns out that, and this is what we're going to do today with you, be patient, that the liver has a huge mind stream that is channeling evil from the planet Orion. Okay, lots of you are going to click off. Oh yeah, this lady, she just lost it. Why don't you just stick around? Because if you stick around and you're open, you might be able to see what it is that I'm talking about. The least that's going to happen is you might get a healing. I'm not going to allow people's belief systems from stopping me from sharing what it is that you need to know, in my opinion. I may lose followers. I lose them anyway. We don't really know how many people are following because so many games are played on all my accounts in order for people not to know how many other people are listening. So it doesn't matter. We're going to go ahead and do the mantra for mood. Even though you've come in looking pretty good. You're not looking good. You're looking pretty good compared to the other days. We're going to do the mood mantra having to do with lifting up depression and anger. We're going to do it for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to take you through a visualization, which is going to be a healing having to do with your liver. Okay? So stick with me. Now, rate yourself from 1 to 10. Where are you at? 1 is you want to slit your wrist, you want to die, that's it. 10 is you feel great. Where are you at? You don't need to let me know. You need to know. You need to be the scientist. You need to be the observer. Don't let your belief system stop you from having new experiences that may take you places that would be very important. All of this that I'm teaching you, if we end up with no internet, no electricity, because of whatever, for any length of time, all of these skills are going to be very helpful for you. And they're going to be very helpful for you even if we have electricity and internet, because you're going to be developing the intelligence of the heart and your psychic abilities, your intuition, your instinctive knowing. We can't rely on authority. I honestly think that many of them have been prohibited from telling us what's going on because it's entirely too frightening. And that has been said. There's been some presidents that have said, well, we have information, but it's too much for the public. Well, you know what? I don't want anybody to decide what is too much for me. I want the information. If I don't accept it initially, at least it's there. And if something weird happens, I can go, oh my God, this was talked about and they said this. Oh, okay, connect the dots. Okay, so we're going to show you the white dress and you're going to see how it looks to you now. And then at the end of this 45 minutes together, you are going to assess it again. So give me a second to get up the mantra. The mantras are done repeated in silence. Okay. It's always the same issue. You would think that I would put it at the top so I wouldn't have to go through this each and every time. Oh, well. Okay. This is the mantra that you're going to repeat in silence, which will change your mood. So I'm going to sketch towards the end of the 10 minutes, and we have always seen a huge difference. We should see it again. And I'm going to put the music on that has to do with the part of your system and your physical body that has to do with bad emotions. It is literally called the garbage can of emotions, and it's in your solar plexus. So let's go ahead and get that sensory therapy video. And you should go out and buy dandelion tea, dandelion herbs, because it's very good for the solar plexus and digestion. So let's go ahead and do 10 minutes, okay? And then after that, we're going to do the visualization and we're going to do an incredible healing on your liver, okay? Okay, this sketch looks great. There's a little bit of a problem. See that? You got the protection that we usually don't get until we do the mantra for world peace. Great. Third eye expanded. Great. Frequencies, Nile green, the color of love, the color of healing. Great. Do you know what's a little bit disconcerting? Not bad. All your mind streams are reaching up. Your mind streams reach up when you're extremely happy. Like the day I walked into Cheesecake Factory and everybody had the mind streams up, and I thought, what is going on here? When you're extremely happy, when you're getting ready to die, or when you're suicidal and want to die. These two make sense. Dying and wanting to die. You're reaching up. I want to leave here. I don't want to be here. The one that didn't make any sense was the one everybody full of joy at Cheesecake Factory. That didn't make any sense. But then it does make sense, because in metaphysics, when you die is really when you get liberated from the burden of the physical body. I've never sketched this before in somebody that's not in the process of dying. This has got to be the process of ascension, but a good ascension with a protection. Okay. A scientist is supposed to give you what they see, even if it's contrary to what they would want to see, or even if it's outside their area of expertise, even if it means something that raises more question marks. I am a scientist in the other dimensions. And you can become that also if you develop your psychic abilities. And you don't need to be like we are today, where we have been told things that don't make any sense and we believe them. Okay. We are going to do a healing now that comes from the movie Matrix. In the movie Matrix, they insert a tube back here. It turns out that we humans have a tube. It's a mind stream inserted in the back of our liver. And that is what channels evil into the planet through our livers. Our livers handle temperature in the body, plus a lot of other things. Heat, fire is the food of the devil. If you have all the bits and pieces of information from other dimensions and from Chinese medicine, it makes sense. I can't go into all of that now. What we're going to do now is we're going to teach you how to cut that connection. And I think you're going to feel very different. I did it today with somebody who was very down. Like from 1 to 10, she would have been like a 1 or 2. And I did this disconnect, which is a cut. And she was giggling like a little kid 3 minutes later. I actually haven't heard her giggle for years when we used to hang out together in our industry, which was bridals decades ago. Okay. The first thing, I'm going to have to rename this because this really has to do with the Matrix. Now, I think we have a lot of these mind strings from people. Like right now, I'm battling somebody that was my handler for a long time. And it turned out he had a mind string inserted into my spleen, which has to do with children. And of course, his threat to me was always that he was going to harm my children. So when we found it, it was like, wow, makes sense. Okay. You are now going to visualize. Let me put the mantra up, which I have already done. Okay. This is the mantra. So you're going to have to walk and chew gum at the same time. You know, there's a president that we used to have that couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. Sometimes I feel that way. Okay. We're going to disconnect you from Orion, which is a bad planet. You're going to now visualize yourself grabbing a piece of ice, a chunk of ice. You're going to imagine yourself very small. It's no effort. Just intend to go inside your liver. To go inside your liver, you have to be very small. So automatically you become small, which is a psychic ability. It's a Siddha, I think it's called, Siddhi in Hinduism. That may not be the correct spelling. You visualize yourself with a chunk of ice and you go inside your liver and you put that piece of ice inside the back wall of the liver. Okay? Now, miraculously, and that's the way the other dimensions are, you will have in your hand either a knife, that's your choice, or a pair of scissors that is made of black obsidian. Black obsidian was a stone that they used, the Mayans, when they used to cut the heart out from the people that they sacrificed, which was, by the way, in order to protect their people. It was an obligation they had. So even though it's horrible, it actually, the reason why they did it is much more interesting than we think. So you're going to have a black knife made of black obsidian or a pair of scissors of black obsidian. You already put the ice inside the back wall of your liver. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just do it. Don't think, oh, can I do it? Just don't think. Just do it. Visualize it. You're going to be outside your body. You're going to be standing to the side of your body, and you're going to see the back of your liver. And you're going to see this tube inserted in the back of your liver. You're going to take the knife or the scissors, whichever you prefer, and you are going to cut it. The piece that came from Orion, not the piece that's left dangling from your liver, that you can ignore. The piece that came from Orion, your hands are now going to turn into ice. and you're going to touch, this is the tube. You're going to go like this and cauterize that, but with ice. And then you're going to tie a knot. When you have your tubes tied, when you cannot have any more children or shouldn't have any more children or don't want any more children, they cauterize those tubes, making sure that channel cannot open up again. You're doing that to the tube that was inserted in the back of your liver, delivering evil energy from Orion. Why would I make this up? I got so much else to talk about. Why would I make this up? I'm not. Okay. And go ahead and breathe. And I'm looking at you. There's a little piece that's still, like when you cut something, like a piece of celery, you cut it and there's still some strings. Cut, 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 cut. Or with the knife. You did it. You did it. And the mantra I forgot to put up. Here it is. And go ahead and breathe. I am going to sketch everybody now, even though you look so great. Is there going to be a difference now that we did this? I don't know. Let's find out. And you can go there and make sure that you cut it all. Make sure that you cauterized it with your hands with ice. Make sure that you tied it so that what is coming from Orion cannot go through, because that string has consciousness and it has an intention, which is to insert in the back of your liver. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. One of the places, which is where in Matrix they have that channel, one of the places that is really vulnerable in us human beings. Yeah, we're going home. We're going home. Never thought I would say that. Okay. The difference here is that here you have a good energy, which you did not have before. The mouth is an entry point for tremendously bad energies. Okay. I don't know if you want to check yourself and see how you feel. I feel bubbling in the back, but the bubbling is coming from the piece of the channel that we just disconnected. So let's go back there, look at it, make sure that there's no little threads left, like when you cut celery, that there's a little strings left. And I see a lot of you going, why did I do that? Human beings are really good people, but we have so many ways that we are invaded that and influenced, and we do things that go against our nature. And the lowest vibration that human beings have is shame, because we're ashamed when we do bad things, because it's not us. It doesn't matter how bad you are. You know how when the people kill, they say the devil made me do it? It's an influence. This was an influence at another level, not an entire being, but an energy, the energy from Orion. Ask anybody about what Orion's like. And supposedly the wars in this world have to do with their influence of them wanting us to be at war. So I'll give you another piece of information so that you can see how the other dimensions are so different. I was at a party once and I met somebody who was in media on TV. And I looked at her and I said, you're from Orion. And she said, I've been told that. I said, but you're from the future, from Orion. It turns out that I'm not the only one that was able to see that Orion messed us up. And then in the future, which is now, they come back to try to fix the mess that they made. Maybe I should not have told you that, because it's like, you just need to know that linear time doesn't exist in the other dimensions. So when they say it takes 10 light years to get to that planet, cancel, because why don't you go the other dimensions? And then it's a little bit easier. And then show up there and create a physical reality. I'll talk to Elon Musk about that. So now let's go ahead. I don't know how much better we're going to look than this. I think we already did it, but we can't cut this short. Not only that, but we have this, which is great. This is this. This is why when you age, this looks so bad, because there's so many bad energies there. So what did we just do? We did the matrix thing. We disconnected. I'm not going to say matrix. We disconnected from Orion. This is a good thing. We're going to go ahead and do the mantra for world peace and prosperity. Okay? And then we're going to finish. And then if it turns out that we will have very few people, then I'll know that a lot of you weren't ready for this. But honestly, I have to give you what I have and what I think is going to help you, not what you think you need, because you see, you don't have the information. So giving you what you think you need is not giving you what you need. You do have the option of not being here to get the information. I'm not going to do like the medical doctors and the authorities that don't tell you. Don't worry your pretty little head about it. You know what? I'm going to give you stuff that maybe will cause you to worry. Okay. So, but wait. We just disconnected you from Orion, which gives you the energy of evil. We had an invasion on the 22nd where millions of beings came in, their essence, which is a black eye, horrible, waiting to invade us. But the law of attraction rules. If you don't have those negative emotions inside of you, I'm not talking on your mouth, the smiling, I'm not talking that. I'm talking inside of you. If you don't have that, those eyes cannot invade you. This cut that we just did, this disconnect, which I don't think is permanent. What the dolphin said is that anytime you get really angry or something really bad happens, you have to go back and do it again because it can reconnect. Wouldn't it be nice if it could be just one time? This, you don't have to battle with darkness and with evil within. You don't have to battle with negative thoughts and wanting to kill somebody because they did something or getting jealous. You don't have to battle that, because what initiates that, from what I can see in a large part, is the energy that comes in through the back of your liver. So here we have the mantra, and we're going to spend 15 minutes doing this. Perfect. That'll give us enough time. And if there's something interesting sketched, I will give it to you. How are you feeling? Pay attention to how you're feeling. The person that I did this disconnect with this afternoon said she could feel like something left her. She had several insertions. She had several from Orion. I asked her, I said, did you have a really bad life? And she said, yeah, I did. And she did. So if you have a really bad life, you may have more than one mind stream from Orion inserted in you, which means that you're battling an invisible force, which is what happened in Matrix. Once they connected that to the back of the head, the person was thrown into different dimensions and different realities. Okay, let's do it. This is the sensory therapy video, all of which are up for free in our YouTube channel. And this is the one that is the frequency of those strings, at least the ones that human beings have. It's the trilling, the sounds of birds trilling. So let's The sketch is not that different, other than, actually, that's not true. The sketch is very different. This is the last sketch with the pink, and there's a spaceship on our feet. Mind you, I worked with scientists and military. They don't take any of this. It's all about love. Oh, it's so, they don't take any of that. That's not the energy of what they would have accepted from me when that energy was there, which is when they had me working with dolphins when I was 6 or 7 years old. They didn't like the results of when they asked questions about the dolphins, they didn't like the results, so they just pulled me off that project. So when I am sketching these things, this is because this is what I see. And being it that it's been a lot of years that people have been following me, particularly, what it is that I say, what is it I sketch, and what results, I know that there's something really big going on. So we have a spaceship under our feet. This, the reaching up of all of the mind streams, not just the ones here, is when one of three moments: process of dying, wanting to die, or incredibly happy. I think there's a part of us that's incredibly happy. I said, going home, we are supposed to have an ascension process, but I think there is a stop between where we're at now and the actual total ascension. And that stop may look a little bit like what the civilization in Lemuria looked like, which was the parallel situation or civilization to Atlantis, but it was very natural. And total emphasis on the spirit body, even though I think we had physical bodies at that point. It's very interesting. I don't want to overwhelm you. From 1 to 10, where are you at? Where's the gold dress in terms of how you view it, to self-assess your vibration, your frequency? And we have finished. Interesting. Thank you for joining me. We will be back on Monday, unless there's any kind of an emergency this weekend. Oh, the big issue with those millions of eyes that came in is mental illness. I found it fascinating that Elon Musk has taken time in the last couple of days to talk about the homeless, addictions, mental illness. Addictions, homeless, craziness is going to augment dramatically within days. And it will have to do with those eyes of consciousness able to penetrate people because they have disassociated. They're not in their bodies. They went through some kind of a trauma. Their addictions, which the addictions are to disassociate you so that you don't feel emotional pain, which leaves a space, etc. So tremendous increase in mental illness and people changing from one day to the next. And there are examples of that are already coming out in the news of people like talking gibberish, changing. They're not like they used to be. We're going to get a lot more of that if what it is that I'm seeing plays out. And it should, because it corresponds to what was predicted. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Bye.